Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea. I hope you're all doing very well today. Today we're looking at a brand new, well, relatively brand new pedal from Keeley called the Keeley ECCOS. Well, it's based on like tape delays, tape echoes from back in the day, reel-to-reel tape echoes and delays and stuff. So with that in mind, it can do some amazing sounding like flange effects, vibe and chorus effects even. It's a very musical, inspiring delay pedal. One thing to point out that's very cool is it's a true stereo pedal, so you can run this into a dual amp setup if you want to. So that's very cool. It's got expression pedal out as well, and you can control it with TRS as well. So it can do all sorts of stuff. I love this kind of thing. I love, coming up with some cool sounds and effects and all that kind of thing. So we're going to get stuck in. I'm using my VX100. We'll plug an expression pedal in a bit to control it with that. And any reverb that you're going to hear is coming from the Capital Chambers Universal Audio plugin. So let's get stuck into it. So the close-up of the pedal, as you can see, it's a very small form factor pedal. As you can see, my hand is very big alongside it, but it does a lot for its size. So the controls, the primary delay controls, as you can see, top left, you've got time, then top right is blend. In the middle is your feedback control. That's also your secondary control access button as well. Then you've got rate, bottom left, and depth, bottom right. And then in the middle you can see is a toggle switch there for mode, and it can change the sort of rhythm of the delays, but it also moves through delay and looper and stuff like that. So that's very cool and very useful. So if you're holding the feedback control to access the secondary functions, the time knob doubles up as the flanger time. The blend knob doubles up as the vibe, the modulated vibe, so you can adjust the blend of that. The rate doubles up as the tone control of the delay, and the depth doubles up as the regeneration of the flanger. So you've got loads of control here over all the different things. And if you're holding the function button down, just to remember, if you use the toggle mode, the toggle switch, it'll adjust the subdivisions of delay. So that's just the delay side, that's how you use all the controls there. But when it comes to the looper, you can do things like reverse the looper, slow it down, and then you can go back in and adjust the sound of the delay whilst it's looping and do stuff like that. There's a couple of different ways to access all of that, which we'll go over. But generally speaking, it's a super easy to use, very effective, small, and true stereo delay pedal. So let's crack on. Okay, so we're going to start with the delay, obviously, then we'll mess around with the looper. So I'm using this Mayonnaise Regis Core Classic because it sounds wonderful. And yeah, we'll just start by just checking out the controls and try and do some weird stuff as we go. So this is the sound of the guitar with just the reverb from Capital Chambers. Sounding very, very nice. And as you can see, I've set it up to be kind of, well, the time is where I want it, but things like the rate and flanger and the depth of stuff, I've tried to keep it a minimum for now so that we can hear the effect more clearly. But anyway, here we go. So that sounds very cool. It's a really nice sounding delay. I really like the way it sounds. If we back off the blend, put the feedback up a little bit. So you can hear the way that sounds, very clear, very easy to use. It's very musical, very warm, all the nice words that I could use to describe a good delay. Anyway, what I'll start to do now is mess with the other functions because, obviously the first one to talk about, I guess, is the sort of flanger regeneration and the sound of it. So what I'll do now is demonstrate the flanging effect that happens with reel-to-reel machines that it sounds so good in this. So I've turned the depth right up and the rate to a reasonable point, and I'll turn the feedback up so you can hear this. Something a bit weirder. So, just by the twist of a couple of these knobs, you can get some amazing sounding effect, really. It's not just delay, it's way more than that. So, I mean, personally, I have very limited to little experience with like reel-to-reel tape machines or anything like that, especially tape echoes and stuff. I don't own any of that kind of thing. So I'm not, an expert in, how real this kind of thing sounds to the original, but I do know a good sounding delay, an analog one, and tape as well from hearing it on my favorite records from back in the day. And I think this sounds really good, and I love the fact that there's more to it than just the delay. And of course there's the looper to get into next, but I'm just going to carry on messing around, show you the secondary functions. So let's check out the blend of the vibe. So So by turning the time knob and the feedback very low, you end up with what you can actually create is like a chorusy kind of sound. But I've got the blend dialed in as well, but check this out. So that sounded like a really pristine sort of chorusy. Well, it was a bit of everything there. There's a little flanging effect going on in the chorus, and the vibe just gave it a bit of everything. I really like that. So let me show you the flanger time a bit more. So we'll turn it up a bit. We'll get some weird sort of regeneration effects going on now. So I'm clearly getting lost in this pedal. I mean, there's so many different sounds you can get out of it, you know, just by messing with the secondary functions, messing with the flange and create, you know, with the rate right up like I was doing there. You can create some really weird style delay tones, and they're all really inspiring, and just you can get straight into it and start writing sections, which is what's happening. But to save this video from being really long, let's move into the looper. Okay, so I've got it set up on the floor real quick just to record a loop so we can get stuck into the looper side of it. So I'm just going to play a loop in and then we can crack on. So... Right, I've recorded the loop in, so what I'll do now is put it back on the table, and then we will start messing around with the sort of sound on sound looper, as it were. Okay, it's back on the table. I've got that loop set up so I can play it and overdub and do all that kind of stuff. Generally speaking, the looper in the ECCOS is like many loopers in the fact that the functionality of it is very similar. Like, you know, you can record, overdub, delete last dub, all that kind of stuff. But where it gets interesting is using the tap tempo switch. You can play it in reverse and play it at half speed and all that kind of stuff. So it's very, very cool. And on top of that, you can toggle back over to the delay side and mess with stuff and add it to it and all that kind of thing, like a sound on sound looper. So let's check it out. So let me play the loop. So I can get lost in that forever, but let's check out what you can do to the loop. So. Okay, I'm going to try a loop in a weird kind of way to try and create a pad to play over. So let's see if I can manage this. Okay, so hopefully that didn't get too weird. I got a bit lost in that again. It's another one of those where you'll sit and just lose yourself in a pedal like this, because there's so many different sounds and creative tools as well to actually create music and parts and things like that. I love that synergy between, you know, having the looper in there, that kind of tape to tape sound on sound looper idea, on top of all the different effects and cool sounds you can get out of the delay pedal. It's an awesome delay pedal, and as I say, I love the fact it's true stereo. You can save 3 presets in here and toggle between them. You've got expression pedal control. You can use the TRS to control the looper separately. It's very well thought out pedal, and it sounds fantastic, so I am very impressed. Of course I'm impressed because it's Keeley and they always do a great job with their pedals. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it wasn't too long, because I definitely got lost in some sounds there. But yeah, thank you to Keeley for sending this over. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll link everything into the description box. Please like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you all very soon.